If your protagonist gets exactly what they want, how do they reveal the deeper truth your story exists to explore in a satisfying way that doesn't derail your story momentum or feel like you're spoon-feeding your reader? Because if you can't answer that instantly, the chances are you're not writing in a way that connects your story's theme to your protagonist's internal world. I've spent over 13 years working as a professional editor, writing coach, and TV story producer, reading thousands of novels and scripts, working on hit shows, and helping new and experienced writers achieve professional success. And in this video, I'm going to show you how what your character's need is defines your protagonist's internal arc, how you'll identify the specific truths or values your protagonist has to accept in order for the story to feel emotionally complete, and how the need connects to your story's theme so that your writing lands with maximum impact. The need is the deeper personal truth or value your protagonist ultimately comes to realize, accept, or champion by the end of your story in order to grow, heal, or transform. It's the emotional shift your story is building toward, even if your character never knows it or says it aloud. The simplest way to understand this is to think about a moment in your own life where you got exactly what you thought you wanted, but then realized it didn't fix the thing you thought it would. And it wasn't until you realized it was something deeper, something about yourself, your beliefs, your way of seeing the world, that real change actually happened. In a story, the protagonist's need isn't necessarily a goal or a desire, but introspection, internal alignment, and commitment to embodying or revealing what the core theme of your story represents. In Inception, the theme explores guilt and absolution. So to align with that, the protagonist Dom Cobb's need is to let go of his guilt about his wife's death and earn absolution, to free himself from the past and have some kind of future. In Sicario, the theme is the moral ambiguity of justice, and Kate Mace's character need is therefore to accept that justice can't always be defined in black and white terms, and she has to learn to accept the moral grey. In the first novel, A Game of Thrones, the peril of honour in a world of deceit is the theme driven by the protagonist Ned Stark's need to recognise that honour alone can't survive in a world of backstabbing ambition. And because his arc is ultimately tragic, that involves rejecting the truth of what his need represents and therefore meeting a tragic fate. In Breaking Bad, it's about the corrupting nature of power and control, so Walter White's character need is for power and control, because that's how we get to explore the moral corruption that comes with him gaining it. So the need is specifically and directly connected to the story's core theme, and it's how you ground that theme in something, someone, tangible, so we can understand through their journey what it's all been about, driving the character's internal arc at the same time. A protagonist doesn't have to accept the need, and if that's the case, then the story has to show us the cost of rejecting it, just like we touched on with Ned Stark. He stays true to his values, and therefore he loses his head. If you're not clear on your protagonist's need, you can start by asking what truth or idea do they have to accept in order to personally change? What would they need to realize in order to grow into who this story is trying to make them? That's going to be both their need and also help reveal your theme. So you could also just reverse engineer it, because ultimately the need is what your character must learn, change, or do to reveal the theme in action through their climactic decisions and behaviors. So what's the theme? Or what decisions and actions do they make and take in the climax, and what does that reveal have to say? The climax and resolution is where readers will understand what your story was really about. But you can't actually get characters to the point of understanding their true need until you've unlocked what's stopping them from realizing that before the end. So click here to learn how to do that in this video.